up and try again.
Hi, this is Louis Tran and welcome to my second video review ever. This time I'm going to be looking at the MacBook 2015 with Retina display. Not MacBook Pro, not MacBook Air, but just MacBook. It's been a while since Apple has released a notebook in this line, labeled as the MacBook. The last one was in 2009, 2010. I don't remember. It was the one that was in all white. Yeah, it's been quite some time, so that's why I don't really remember. I have to look that up. But this year, Apple has surprised some of us because we thought that they were going to release a MacBook Air with the Retina display, which was what most of us were hoping for. The MacBook Air is, is their most popular laptop because it's portable, it's got great overall performance, and it's got that 12-hour battery life. So all they had to do was, in order to create one of the most perfect laptops, or closest to perfect laptops ever, was to just slap on a Retina display, because the current MacBook Airs currently run at 1440 by 900. The sad part is, even on their 2015 MacBook Airs, it's still running at that resolution. I mean, it's not bad, but it does seem a little bit out of date when compared to the current notebooks that are out right now. Their competition, they're running at least 1080 and above. So when you compare the two screens, there's definitely a difference in screen quality. But let's take a look at the MacBook Retina this year. So what do I like about this? It's got really nice design. It's really thin. The thickest point is 0.52 inches. Let's take a look right here at the ports. See that one port right here? It's got one USB port. Yep, that one single port, which we use for connectivity, display output, and for charging. And yeah, we gotta rely on that one single port. Unfortunately, Apple didn't give us two; they just gave us one, just like the very first MacBook Air that Steve Jobs announced in 2008. So it may feel like a step backwards from the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro, because they come with multiple ports, but this one sadly just comes with one. Now, the most annoying part is that in order to use a regular USB device, you got to get a USB-C to USB-A adapter, USB-C, which is what this is, to use a standard USB device, which starts at $19. So Apple doesn't include one in the box. You got to go out and buy one. Now, if you want to go and have a multifunctional port for to charge and to plug in another USB device and to have a display output at the same time, you got to spend $79 to get the multi AV port USB-C adapter. So ouch. And then these notebooks, this MacBook Retina display doesn't come cheap in the first place. The base model at 1.1 gigahertz with 256 gigs hard drive, 8 gigs of RAM, starts at $1299. Now, if you move up at 1.2 gigahertz with 512 gig hard drive space, it's at $1599. And if you do a configure to order device at max specs at 1.3 gigahertz with 1.3 gigahertz with 512 gig hard drive space, it's at a whopping $1699. And at $1699 you can get a much better laptop at the same price or for even less money. So that's something to think about right there. But now let's take a look at the other side of the device. See, the first side, you got that one USB port. The other side, you have that one audio standard 3.5 inch audio adapter. Could they have put another USB port, at least another USB-C port on the other side? I think so. So, you know, with Apple's brilliant design engineers, it could have been done, but unfortunately we're left with one USB-C device. Now, for those who travel a lot, it's, you know, it could be annoying, but carrying around the multi-port dongle, it's not that bad. I mean, it doesn't take as much space as you would carry a 13-inch MacBook Air. I mean, it doesn't make it any heavier. It doesn't make it any doesn't take that much more space in your backpack. But it is annoying just having to get a dongle just so that you can use a USB device. But you know, USB is the future, I believe, and then that's what Apple is banking on. So that's why they just eliminated the standard USB-A ports, so that, you know, we can all start getting used to the USB-C. Unfortunately, so, you know, you can't fight progress. And if you think about it, that's what Apple did with the optical drives. They removed the optical drives, and we all thought that was silly. But now there's nowadays most ultra portable devices, they do not include the optical drive. So that's something that we got to think about, you know, when purchasing this laptop. Now, what do I like about this? Again, it's the display. It's got a brilliant let me show you as I open. It's got a brilliant 2304 by 1440 Retina display. It's really sharp. It's got displays great pictures, photos, and video. Performance wise, it actually works quite well. Even with the base model, I started off with the base model. I was running running Windows 10 under Parallels with Chrome, Outlook, a bunch of websites open at the same time, and it worked quite okay. But it did lag. It did slow down a little bit, especially with Parallels open. But to me, it's important that I have it open because it's because Windows applications is what I use for work. So I gotta have Windows running at the same time with my Mac OS. So I upgraded to the I returned the base model and got the 1.2 gigahertz version, and everything just runs smoothly. So take a look. I got, you know, again, I got Salesforce open, which is what I use for work because I'm in sales. I have Outlook open, which for my corporate email, and I have Parallels open. And you know, it all runs pretty smooth, you know, even using Internet Explorer, Chrome, and everything all at the same time. Another thing that I do like about this is it's really thin and it's really light. It comes in at weighing at 2 pounds, which is about a full pound lighter than the 13-inch MacBook Air, which weighs 2.98 pounds, and the 11-inch MacBook Air weighs at 2.38 pounds. So you get a bigger screen and higher resolution than the 11-inch MacBook Air, but it's even lighter. So the things that I don't like, oh man, it's the price. I think at $12.99 and $15.99 and $16.99, I still believe that the 13-inch MacBook Air is a much better value in terms of performance, battery life, and price. And you still retain the portability. I would even go as far as to say that the 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display is also a better value because you get, you know, a much better performance for the same amount of money. versus what you would get with the 12-inch MacBook Retina. But you know, if you are someone who wants to be the early adopter, like myself, and can afford to or is willing to pay for the early adopter price, then I'd say, you know, the 12-inch Mac is a great device for those who travel a lot. You know, I just throw this in my backpack. I don't even feel that it's there. I mean, you know, when you compare this weight between the iPad and the 11-inch, 13-inch MacBook Air, you know, it's, you know, you could definitely appreciate the thinness, the lightness of the MacBook Retina. And again, especially when you travel, you know, you're running in and out of airports, you have this in your messenger bag or your backpack, and you know, pretty much it does get the job done. You know, like I said, I use this for work, I use this for personal, but for those who are needing like a high performance laptop or high performance device doing games, video editing, this is not for you. So spend your $12.99, $15.99, $16.99 on a much more high performing device, you know, such as the Razer 14 or even the MacBook Pro. So, do I recommend this device? I do. I cautiously recommend it, again, if you're just willing to pay for the premium. But you know, but on a general consensus, I would say that you're better off, you know, waiting for either the second generation or just go out and just getting the current 13-inch MacBook Air if you're, you know, if you want the best bang for your buck laptop. So, yeah, I mean, please check out my review. I wrote the review. I got better photos posted online at www.thegeeksoffice.com. And thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of the Labor Day weekend. Well, today's the last day. Today's Labor Day as of this filming. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you.